Well, hello, welcome to another RiderCamTV video, and today we're up at Damerels, up at Indian Queens in Cornwall, and we have got this, the Hornet, the Honda Hornet 750. Now this, I'm really looking forward to riding because I think this is a very, very different Honda Hornet to the old 4-cylinder. So this is a parallel twin 750cc. We will put all the information up on the card at some point during the video, but it looks really smart. Had a lot of attention lately, this bike, but this is only £6,999 on the road. This one's fitted with some sports stuff, so it's got the sports pack on there, on the back, the bar ends, different little screen, and a quick shifter, all extra, and the SC Project can is extra, but under £7,000 on the road in the UK. And what a good colour. So we're going to go out and see what it's like. Right, nice little screen. Nice little screen. Right, let's go and see what it's like, shall we? Oh, 750. Now this is, I think, Mark, if I get my figures right, something like 190 kilos or 170 kilos. We'll put it all up on the board in a minute anyway. But a very, very light bike, and I can tell already this is Mr. Flickable. So we're in 60 now. Oh, nice. Wow. And that's the thing that I like about Hondas, is Hondas are one of those bikes that have got such a good reputation about being smooth and reliable and looking good, that it just instills confidence when you're buying a bike and when you're looking as to what sort of bike to get. You know, Hondas are amazing bikes. My hip is popping out. That's better. Right. Oh, no, I'm going to stand up. My hip is popping out. Ooh. Right. Other than my hip popping out, I'm still wanting to pop out, which is not great. Let's come out. Right, so this is a naked bike, obviously. Naked means no protection. But naked also means that it is fun. You feel the wind, feel everything going through you. How amazing. So, up to speed, really easy. I tell you what is really nice, and I'm hoping that you'll be able to hear me. One thing that I think is really, really nice about this bike is the smoothness of the throttle. Now, being a parallel twin, it's going to provide an awful lot of acceleration, but an awful lot of engine braking too. So let's just get over to position, indicating and looking behind. Nothing much going on. So I'm going to ease off. Indicators are self-cancelled, which is so annoying on these bikes. And that quick shifter, now that quick shifter that I'm using is not standard. That quick shifter is extra. Same with the bar ends, the little screen, and the can that's on this one. But that was like smooth butter changing down. Really, really nice. So now that my hip has decided to play ball a little bit, I can actually feel a little bit more comfort on this bike. So let's just see what it's going to be like on this little bit of a twisty road. Shut my visor down because, being a naked bike, that is what it is. Naked road grime in my face. So the seating position, other than the initial feeling that my hip wanted to pop out, and that's not the bike's fault, that's my body's fault, because I'm used to being on an adventure bike which has got a lot more leg room, a lot more hip room, I guess. It's actually a comfortable place to be. Now when I looked at the seat, the seat is so small, I thought, well, that's not going to give any protection, or, you know, not protection, any comfort. But I tell you what, it's really quite a nice comfy seat, and being as light as it is, I mean, it's like riding a toy. That's what it feels like riding a toy, with all the added benefits of it being a 2023 bike. So, seating position, don't feel crunched up at all now that my hip is recovered. Feel quite comfortable. I don't feel like I have got no pressure of anything whatsoever on my wrists at all. Not one bit of pressure. In fact, I can ride it without leaning forward at all. You are leaning forward slightly, but not where there's any discomfort to be had. It's not as if I'm leaning forward and all my weight on my wrist. My weight is all contained on my back. Up front then, basic controls, although I say basic, there's a lot of stuff going on down here because we've got one of these nice screens up ahead. So this screen has got a lot of information on there. It's a really nice startup sequence when it starts up. We'll show you that a little bit later. But the information that's on the screen is really easy to see. So you've got your speed in really nice font, really nice and big, bold, right in the middle. Across the top, you've got your fuel. On the left-hand side, you've got your rev counter, and it's all digital. You've got a gear indicator there. I'm going to slip it into third, as easy as that, like smooth melted butter. On the right hand side, you've got your power, engine, braking and torque, and of course you can change that as well. So this bike's taken it a little step further, where you can change the rider settings, which is brilliant. And then you've got total miles, you've got your average consumption, what date it is, and other bits of jibber jabber on the screen. Like I say, it feels quite basic in terms of the switches, but you know that they're not basic. Now Honda are very good at making really, really good switch gear, really good bits of kit that work just as the way that they should work. The only thing that I really wish that they had done is put the indicator above the horn like every other bike, because it's really quite challenging that when you want to indicate, that you need to make sure that you're not pressing the horn, because the horn is above it. So there's going to be a propensity to hit the horn by accident. But as you can see, this bike is no slouch whatsoever. It's really quite planted as well. Really quite surprised actually, because the way in which the bike rides, I would say almost rides and feels a little bit like an inline four, like the original, or a four-cylinder like the original, because the power delivery I would expect to be on a parallel twin, a little bit lumpy. It really is not lumpy. It's so smooth, it is unbelievable. Now I'm going to slow down because just seeing there's a load of water all over the place, because as you can see, Cornwall is one of those places that's a little bit wet. So it gives me a chance to get back up to 60 and try that quick shifter. Wow! Now that power is insane. Now I think coupled with the fact that the bike weighs so little, and the fact that the bike has got so much power, this is just like, if you could see my face, if you could see my smile, I think my helmet is almost bending around my smile. It's such a nice bike to ride. Really nice. It reminds me, when you look at it, very much of the Kawasaki ER series, that sort of stuff, with all the angles, but with a twist that you've got to spend more time looking at it. And when you do spend more time looking at it, you realise that it's something a little bit more special. So, handlebars, really nice apart. I don't feel cramped at all. In fact, I feel very, very comfortable on this bike. The vibrations, now I say the vibrations, I am not getting any vibrations through the pedals, or most importantly for me, no vibrations through the throttle whatsoever. It's as smooth as you like, and I can't believe I'm saying that about a parallel twin. Really smooth. You can hear in the engine that it's not a 4-cylinder, so you know that it's a parallel twin or a twin of some sort. But look at that for engine braking. Really good engine braking. Now, there's a lot of buttons on the left hand side which are all about sorting your modes out and changing stuff on the screen. Incidentally, the screen comes with Bluetooth, and on there comes turn-by-turn signals. So on the right hand side where it says standard, that would split up and give you turn-by-turn signals, which is really good. So that's an added benefit, and it also gives you voice prompts. So if you've connected your helmet to it as well as your phone, then it will tell you when to turn and show you when to turn too. Now, moving on to one of the kind of downsides for me for this bike, very minor, easily fixed, are these wing mirrors. They look good, but they need to be out to the right and the left, out to the outside of the bike, probably another 2 inches. I can see all of my arm, but I can't quite angle the mirrors so that I can see behind me and have a clear view behind me. So I'm having to move my arms or my elbows in out the way just to see what's going on behind. Other than that, really nice. The brakes are really good, and the suspension, so it's upside down suspension. So if you ride something like the MT-07, the suspension looks much the same, but in comparison to that sort of bike, this bike feels like it's a real upgrade to it. The suspension has got, I think they've got canisters or something in the top that actually give the rebound some sort of slowness, if that makes sense. They're dampening that preload, aren't they? Rather than being really bouncy and jerky. But the power in this bike, I mean, I'm in 4th gear doing 57. It's a really responsive gear because I've got just over 4,000 revs there, and if I want to go a bit faster, I just ank down on the throttle. If I want to go slower for this corner, ease off a little bit. Engine braking is insane, and actually is allowing me to really plan my ride properly. And this is on a bike that I haven't ridden very much of at all. We've had it for a couple of hours this morning to see what it's like, and I tell you what, for such a light bike, the power is, well, just incredible. Actually, I was thinking, well, we're going to take the Hornet out. I really like to take the Hornet out because there's been a lot of good reviews about the Hornet. However, I wasn't really that excited about taking it out because it's just a 750. Get on it. If you were like me, get on the bike, see what you think about it, because this is not just any 750cc bike. This is the Honda Hornet, the brand new one, the 2023 version, and I tell you what, this is absolutely immense. For £6,999, a bike like this that I'm riding with no cramp buster on the throttle, got no vibrations, I've got no numbness in my hand that you get with lots of other bikes when you're gripping the throttle. The brakes are good, the suspension is firm but not too firm. You can change loads of stuff on the bike. It looks good and comes in, I think, 4 different colours, and you can get a myriad or a plethora of different things to fit the bike. But on top of that, I mean, look at this, wow, you know, the power in this bike. For a 750, I think you could use this bike all day long, commuting, touring, especially touring, because you can get loads of panniers and all that sort of gubbins to go back on the back. I think if you're looking for, dare I say, a cheap bike, it's not a cheap bike. 7 grand is still a lot of money, but I tell you what, you are getting an awful lot of bike for your £7,000. one hell of amount of bike for your £7,000, and you won't be sorry if you pick one of these to buy. So let's have a look around it. So this is the 2023 Honda Hornet 750 parallel twin.
Woohoo!
I know, and I tell you what, I've ridden this. Look at this.
Look at the crap all over your back.
So, if there's ever a lesson on one of these bikes, take it out in the wet weather, in the horrible weather, but have something on here to stop it coming up on there.
Like a skirt or something like that.
I feel really bad. This was gleaming this morning when we took it out of the showroom. So damn rules, thank you and sorry. But I tell you what, this bike, guess how much it is?
I couldn't tell you.
£6,999 on the road.
Wow.
Now, I've got to say that people that will be keen-eyed looking at a Honda, especially the Hornet, it's got the sports pack on it, so this is part of the sports pack, this thing on the back.
It's not a seat.
No, these bar ends are part of the sports pack.
They look really nice.
They do, don't they? The front screen is part of the sports pack. And
Is that a screen?
it is, yeah, it is.
It's more like a codpiece.
And the SC, I can't read what it says.
SC Project.
Yeah, that can is part of it. So,
And it's still only that price?
without those things, it's £6,999.
Ah, right, okay.
Now, this has also got a quick shifter up and an assisting quick shifter down.
Wow.
That's as extra as well. However, go to BMW, go to KTM, go to all these other places and want a quick shifter, talking big money, aren't you? Under £300 to have it fitted on your bike. And I tell you what, it is sublime. It's like putting a knife through already melted butter. It's that smooth.
Wow.
I know. Now, I was expecting this to be just like mediocre, you know?
Well, let me tell you, the old Hornets were awesome bikes. I mean, they were up against things like the Ducati Monsters and things like that, which is an awesome bike. Just sounds like a bag of spanners.
Yeah, I've been blown away by this.
Really?
Really blown away. So up here on the side we put all the specs because we don't know them all, but it's about 170, 190 kilos, something like that. There is no way. It is so flickable. It's as flickable as a flickable thing on a flickable day when you can flick it around.
Wow.
I know, it's amazing. Now, they've gone from a 4-cylinder to a parallel twin, and I thought this is going to be really lumpy. I was wrong. You know that it's a parallel twin because it's not quite as smooth. You don't get that like smoothness as you're riding along. However, the power delivery and the torque and the engine braking are something else.
See, people don't realise it's about parallel twins or V-twins or anything like that. Twin-cylinder bikes are awesome. You just have to rag them a little bit.
Yeah. We'll have to track Jeremy Clarkson ride past it. He's farming! Anyway, so riding it, not one bit of vibrations through the handlebars or the pegs. And for a twin, that's quite something else, I think. Nothing at all. Really flickable, and it's a joy to be sat on. Other than the fact when I first got on, I think my hip was having a bit of an episode.
I so hope I've got that on camera.
It needed to pop out, but when you sat on it, everything is just where it needs to be. Oh, this hip's going to pop out. Oh, and again. Everything is where you need it to be. 90 degrees.
Apart from your hip.
Apart from a hip. But that's down to me not being used to riding one of these bikes. I'm not leaning forward. There is no weight on my wrist whatsoever.
Is that like a Strictly Come Dancing move that you did there?
No,
Jazz hands.
Really, really comfortable place. The only thing I really wish that they would do on Hondas is not put the horn above the indicator.
Yeah.
Because without looking, it's right where your thumb is. And I guess what they're saying is the horn is important because if you need to tell
I think you'll find you need to tell people where you're going sometimes.
judging by our last video.
There we go.
Perhaps we shouldn't, I don't know. Right, so let's have a look around the bike. So, the other thing that I like about this bike, if you're riding an MT-07, that sort of bike, they're good bikes. The but they've got the old shocks and stuff. This is like the upside down thing, but there's some sort of canister in here. Mark was saying from Damrels, there's almost like damping in there as well, so it's not like right down.
It doesn't dive.
No, it doesn't dive at all. It's bordering on the firmer, but not firm, if that makes sense. So it's a really quite comfortable ride. You don't feel like you're doing that when you're riding along. It is quite comfortable, and it gives you a little bit more confidence when you're going into corners or you're braking heavily. You're not going to dip down and then have that reverb. Really, really nice. Looks good too, doesn't it?
I like the headlight. It's only flickering because the it's digital.
Oh, and I'm flashing.
You'll be arrested for that, mate.
We did a video a few weeks ago about the indicators, and I'd left my BMW indicators are always on. I've been doing it. People need to watch for it, don't they?
Yep.
But when they indicate, it flashes. I don't see what the problem is. I think they're quite nice. There's LEDs all around. And then coming to the back part, and they're really bright, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They're really good.
Really bright. Really bright. Now, it's quite a small bike, and it feels like you're on a toy. As I was riding along, I could feel my helmet was getting tighter because my smile was getting bigger. The engine braking and the acceleration, if you've got it in like the middle thirds, is immense. It really goes like a rocket. And there's something else on here, Mark. Come up the front.
I've got to go up the front.
Yeah, look at this. Right.
Oh, it's hard to see though.
Now you get a screen. I know you've got loads of reflections, but nice start up on there as well. But it's really nice. This is all digital. You've got a really good font in the middle showing you your speed, your fuel at the top, loads of other stuff. But you can also change different settings on the bike. So the power, the engine braking, the torque, you can change to suit you and what mode it's in.
And that's done on this switch here, is it?
It's done on here, hence the fact that you've got all of these buttons on here, which looks quite complicated. But once you get used to it, it's good. And the other thing about this is this half
We
here.
have to apologise for the wind if
Yeah.
it's really windy.
This half here, if you Bluetooth or connect Bluetooth to your phone and to your helmet, it will give you turn-by-turn navigation.
Wow.
And voice prompts in your helmet.
Everyone's doing that now, aren't they?
Yeah, but for £7,000. Do that on a £7,000 bike.
Yeah.
It's really good, isn't it?
Yeah.
The only cheaper bikes that I've seen them doing that is on the Royal Enfield with the little circle. But I don't think they're phasing that out.
They're still doing that now, yeah.
So, look at
What are
this.
the mirrors like though?
Well,
Go back to that.
now, I had to literally, if you look at me, Mark,
Oh,
when I'm
God, have I got
riding,
to?
I had to keep doing that so I could see anything. So for me, it might be different for different riders. I would like to see, and I'm sure you can buy them, extenders to get them out to sort of there to come out. They need to be about 2 inches outside of where they are, I think. I
Well,
think
actually, just looking, that could probably move a bit further across, couldn't it?
it might be able to, but it's got the whole of the clutch
Yeah,
assembly
but
with it.
it's designed to go, you know, perhaps a little bit, only
Yeah.
a little bit.
That's one of the downsides to me. But then when you come here, look at the seat. I thought this seat was going to be really uncomfortable. It was going to be like a bit of paper that is mimicking a seat. But actually, look at that.
It looks comfy.
It's really comfy. And I love the fact that your nether regions are pushed up against there. And you really feel like you've sat in the bike.
Are you feeling cupped?
Yeah, everybody's buttocks needs to be cut to something, don't they? This does it for me. And if you ever need to fart and there's someone behind you, look at this. Look, you got holes to fart through.
Oh!
So you can channel your inner fart
Honda, think of
at
everything.
the bike behind you. Honda, think of everything. Really, really comfy bike.
It is small, isn't it?
It is very, very small. It is small.
The number plate's nearly as big as it. But I'll tell you something else.
Yeah.
Riding behind it, it does look really nice.
It feels nice. I really wasn't expecting to be as excited by a naked bike like this at all. For the price, for the torque, for the power, for the style, for the fact that it's made by Honda, and you know what Honda are like, they make just good stuff, don't they?
And they do a touring version of it, don't they?
Yeah, they do a touring version.
That has top boxes, Soft panniers, soft top box,
Yeah.
but it looks really nice.
It
And tank bag.
It looks really nice, but with no weight on your wrists, no vibration on your feet or your hands. Ideal tourer. Do all the tours that we do on our bike
Yeah.
with ease.
Yeah.
And you'd be able to park a lot easier and filter a lot easier because it's thinner.
Yeah.
Really like it. Really like it. I know why there's been so much hype about it now. I thought it was just going to be like a, you know, fit in the middle of everything else, but just looking really closely at how it's made, the bits that they've added to it, like these forks and bits up here to stop it reverbing and bouncing all over the place, they've actually thought about it.
I've got to tell you, I do like the colour scheme.
Yeah, it comes in 4 colours apparently.
That's really nice. That it's like a metallic burgundy.
I think you'll find they call it red.
All right, red then.
But I really like it. I know why there's so much hype about it, but if there's one thing that you must do is do something by putting a hugger or something there. Otherwise you end up with
Shite all over your back.
covered in it. But really like it. I can see why this is going to be a real hit. So go out and buy one. I love it. If I had the money and wanted a second bike, I think this might have to be one of them.
Wow.
So smooth. Oh, before you go,
I haven't gone yet.
you made a little quip of, oh, is that the screen? Riding along, I've got a peaked helmet, not one bit of unclean air in my face. It wasn't chucking my helmet up. I didn't have any buffeting at all. I'm 5 foot, what, 10, 5 foot 11? Perfect for me. So we may scoff at these tiny little screens.
Sometimes we do.
Sometimes we don't, but it does actually work. Really like it. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Go down to your local dealer, better still, give Dan Mills a ring. They'll give you a really good deal. And why don't you get one yourself?